A lot of people have been talking about, who's to blame and, why did this happen, and have been very critical of the fight. And I think that I come from a bit of a different perspective, and I acknowledge this because I didn't pay to watch this fight. I didn't fly to Las Vegas. I didn't pay for tickets. I didn't pay for my hotel. I didn't order it on pay-per-view. So I'm strictly looking at it from a sporting/athletic standpoint, not so much an entertainment standpoint. Like, of course, if you ask me, did the people who bought tickets to watch that fight and that fight in particular get their money's worth? Absolutely not. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. Did the people who, bought the pay-per-view get their money's worth because of that main event? It was on the marquee after all. It was the headliner. Absolutely not. It did not live up to the hype. It did not live up to our expectations. But I view MMA fights in particular sort of like I view a Venn diagram. Do you remember Venn diagrams when we were kids? I learned about them. I don't know if you guys did in your school, but a Venn diagram, and I'm probably going to butcher the explanation of this, but it's a circle here, a circle there, and then at some point they kind of meet together, and then the middle part is when it all comes together, the magic, so to speak. That's a horrible explanation, but I think you know what I'm saying. Like this circle, then you put another circle right there, and then there's like a part in the middle. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And so typically when I look at an MMA fight, you've got the one circle here that's sport, you got the one circle here that is entertainment, and the magic happens when they come together, right? When the sport and the entertainment aspect come together, and then you get a great fight, i.e. what happened in the co-main event, and of course I will get to that in a moment. Well, in this particular case, the sport and the entertainment just didn't come together. They didn't meet. But that doesn't necessarily mean that in this case, Israel Adesanya is at fault. In fact, I would strongly argue that he fought a great fight, that he fought a smart fight. The most impactful blow of that fight probably happened in the first round, that big right from Yoel Romero. I believe it was a right. You know what I'm saying? That was the most impactful blow, the most damaging blow, in my opinion, certainly punch-wise. And so at that point, he said, look, this guy's not engaging, but when he does engage, the very few times that he does engage, he hits really hard. We all knew that about him. So let's adjust. Let's attack the legs. I do believe that it is incumbent upon the challenger. I've said this time and again, especially coming off the Dominic Reyes fight, that when you judge a fight, when you look at a fight, the idea, the notion that to be the champ, you got to be the champ is something that is like actually a thing. To be the champ, you got to beat the champ. Like when you're scoring a fight, people say, oh, he didn't do enough to take the belt away. No, that's hogwash. I spoke about this at length following the Reyes-Jones fight. Doesn't make any sense. It's not the way it is. All you have to do is win 3 rounds out of 5. That's it. Doesn't matter if it's the first, second, fifth, third, fourth, fifth, first, third, fifth. It doesn't matter. Just win 3 to 5, and you're the champ. That's it. When you judge a fight, you can't think of it that way. You just have to score who won each round. But I do believe when looking at a fight from the standpoint of entertainment and sport, it is incumbent upon the challenger to set the tone, to bring the fight to the champion. It's sort of like the Valentina Shevchenko-Liz Carmouche fight that we saw back in August. In that particular fight, I thought that if there was anyone to blame, it was Liz Carmouche. Because if we're looking at this like a war or something, the champion is defending his land. He's defending, or she's defending her belt. When you're defending, right, the people who are coming to take what is yours, whether it's your land or your belt, they're the ones who are the aggressor. They are the ones who are bringing the fight to you. You're just defending. Now, I know it's not apples to apples, but you get what I'm trying to say here. Yoel Romero had to go out there and bring the fight to Izzy. Izzy was the one who recognized how dangerous Yoel Romero was. Izzy was the one who was defending his belt. So he was waiting to see what he would do. He was playing his game. And once Yoel Romero was not being the aggressor, was not bringing the fight to Izzy, Izzy had no other choice but to stand back. And again, I'm not defending it from an entertainment standpoint. I see some people like rolling their eyes at the notion that it was a great chess match. I don't even know if it was that, to be honest. It was just kind of weird. Like, this is your last chance to fight for a belt, probably, unless he moves up to 205. And at this point, with all the wacky title shots that are being handed out, who knows if he'll ever get... And I can't sit here and say he's never getting another title shot. But at 185, probably a good chance. And in the first 90 seconds, you're just doing that? Like, I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. But the last thing I'm going to do is blame Israel Adesanya. How could you blame him? He's just taking cues from Romero. You want him to rush in with so much at stake? Not only the belt, but his pay? You want him to rush in and get clocked? You want him to rush in and get taken down? You want him to rush in and get knocked out? Why? So you can be entertained? Unfortunately, in this particular case, you would like it if both things happen, if you have a slugfest and you can also be entertained, but sometimes it's just not going to happen. This isn't Rock'em Sock'em Robots. It's sport. Sometimes there are very boring basketball games. Sometimes there are very boring hockey games. Sometimes there are very boring baseball games, soccer games. And I know it. I could see it now. Look at Ariel defending the main event. Let me be very clear. I'm not defending this fight whatsoever. I'm not defending the entertainment value attached to this fight. If I was trying to get someone to like MMA, I was trying to expose them to mixed martial arts, the last thing I would do is show them this fight. This fight was not good. It was boring. There was an element, though, I will say, where I was like, ooh, any single moment, something could change because Romero hits really hard and because Izzy has that knockout power. But sometimes it just doesn't produce a great fight. Happened with Tyron Woodley and Wonderboy Thompson. In the Anderson Silva versus Damian Maia fight, like I felt like Anderson was just kind of acting weird for the sake of acting weird. And let's not forget, like we glow about him now in his title reign, but he had a lot of weird title fights. Remember Patrick Cote, Damian Maia, Talis Ladies? Like let's not forget that not that long ago, we were talking on Monday mornings after Anderson Silva title defenses being like, this guy is just completely out of his mind and is not a fun champion. And we were looking for someone. I remember there was a time where people wanted Brock Lesnar to fight Anderson Silva. So let's not forget about that. But in this particular case, what I am defending is the notion that A, Izzy is at fault because he isn't, and B, that he is not worthy of all the praise and hype that he has received. This is the one that pisses me off. Oh, he's overhyped. Oh, look at this guy now. He's not worth your money. He's not a draw. He's not a potential face of the UFC. Get the heck out of here. This guy's now 8-0, fastest ever to 8-0. And what, we want to talk about some of his other fights? What, the Whitaker fight didn't entertain you? Oh, the fight of the year against Kelvin Gastelum, that didn't entertain you? The Anderson Silva fight didn't entertain you? The Derek Brunson fight didn't entertain you? Get out of here. That is a joke. That is an absolute joke. You can't be on every single time. And so my big thesis is, all right, it was a weird fight. It was not fun. It was not entertaining whatsoever. But sometimes these things happen in MMA, right? Shout out to Gus Johnson. Sometimes sport, entertainment don't come together. And it sucks. And I feel for the people who bought tickets for that fight. I feel for the people who bought pay-per-views for that fight. I really do. Hello, everyone. It's Ariel Helwani. I just came here to thank you for watching our ESPN YouTube channel. It's the best. You know what else is the best? The ESPN app. You can get highlights, analysis, all that stuff and more. And if you want premium content and live streaming sports, there's only one place for all of that. It's ESPN Plus.